I think we got it this time. And we also are still without music at the beginning. Yeah, we live, baby. We live. Yeah, somebody's here too, so it's nice. We're going to be a 3-man podcast instead of a 2-man to start off with. Oh, there it is. There he is. Oh. Hey, no, we've had technical difficulties. We tried 3 times to start.
We don't know how to podcast.
Yeah, we don't know how to do anything right here.
Hey, Joe, nice shirts. Summer's
damn.
out. Little summer shirt. Feeling good. Me and Chris are as red as can be.
Yeah. How was the day? How far in are we?
For your birthday?
Into this?
Yeah.
Oh, like 2 seconds.
2
Oh,
seconds.
sweet.
Yeah, we had 3 minor malfunctions.
What's up, Twitter world? Should I open this?
Yeah,
yet,
go
or-
right ahead.
Okay.
Get in there,
Yeah.
I can
Joseph.
already see. I can already see
what it is.
I can already see one or two.
Hey, we got to get you going. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. Chris, do we know who won?
Merry Christmas.
No, they're about to start up, it looks like.
So Chris was going to be the color commentary on the Kentucky Derby.
I'll let you know when it goes.
Why I told the people, sweet
Bring the
nothings.
thunder.
Sun Thunder. All right. Okay. We're feeling good. We just know we got a little bit. We don't have as much time as we would like, Joe. We got a 6:30 birthday, babe.
We can. I mean, if we don't have to get there at 6:30, it's what I told everyone.
That's what he
but
told people. And, you know, he
Cheers,
doesn't care about
boys.
people.
Let's be honest. They're not going to show up on time. That's not our people.
Joe doesn't care about people. He only cares about the 2 people that are sitting here with him.
Why is it so cold?
You guys are really not talking here, and I'm not the guy to talk.
Why is it so
Let's
cold?
see how many.
The cheers. How long do you think?
How long?
So bad.
So Pat Lynch right now is driving Brian Hamilton.
Let's give it. So today we started this beautiful Saturday at a wonderful charity event for golf.
My eyes are
Yeah,
tearing up.
yeah, it's pretty bad. And Pat, being an absolute gem,
A real mensch.
drove our buddy back downtown, and
hero.
the in Chicago right now, traffic is absolutely
Trash.
insane. Ladies and gentlemen,
Garbo.
Oh, especially for Pat coming from the suburbs, going into the city.
oh yeah, it's terrible.
It's basically down.
You got to
2
imagine
lanes.
he took the 290, right?
Yeah, that's what he said he was going
Yeah.
to do. There's a Luke Combs concert tonight and
Blink 182.
Blink 182.
Whoa! I forgot they're going back around.
Yeah.
So there's no way that
we may finish this podcast before Pat gets back.
We told Pat we're going to do the
Maybe one of the greatest podcasts in history.
Yes, let's go. We told
Let's
Pat
get it.
We told Pat that we would do the podcast at 4:30, and he's like, I might just be able to drop Pat off by 4:30. So all right, we'll push it till 5. Well, Pat might not be here.
I don't think he is.
He might have just now live with Brian until the 90 is fixed.
Hey, so how was golf?
It was pretty good.
Everybody's favorite subject is when you talk about their golf, but me, Chris, yeah, we're bright red.
Yeah.
We guess how
Not
long.
bright red, but yeah, there is
Yeah.
a little.
There's
tint.
color. There's color.
Chris still got a little bit. I feel like Chris is a little like his nose
Chris,
is a little.
yeah,
My
you
cheeks
only
and my nose.
You see it on like the brim of his nose and his cheeks.
Yeah.
The head. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I
you wore
had
a hat.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? So we, again, we golfed. We did this charity golf outing today. It was for children's who have cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah, and
Cerebral palsy.
yes, yeah,
Cerebral palsy.
and I guess there's a lot of new technologies out there in the sense of braces and stuff that could help these young children walk and be more independent. And of course, our healthcare system and our insurances do not cover a lot of these. So for kids to get them, we have to have grown men get completely shit wasted and donate an ass ton of money for these kids.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a good time. It's a good time. So we had a hell of a time.
Oh yes.
Get it, baby. We had me, Chris, and Brian and Phil had probably one of the best golfs we've ever. We unofficially parred, squared, and then officially probably was
We
one
par
plus.
primed.
Wow. Pat was saying last time I spoke to him, what was that, Thursday? I was like, how do you think you're gonna do? Have you played this golf course before? He's like, no, but I looked it up. He goes, this might be a hard one. I go, why is that? He goes, my style of golf doesn't really fit this course. And I was like, what does that mean?
What is your style of golf?
To the left.
It sounds like a lot of his drives either go right or left, and I'm guessing from the sounds of it, lots of bunkers, couple balls lost.
Phil,
There was definitely a lot of bunkers.
Oh, Pat and Frank
Pat.
played absolute shit golf today.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Yeah,
like,
from what we could tell, they were not
at
doing
least from
well.
their drives. The drives were dog shit. We the whole time we were up and we were behind them. We were on their butts the whole time. Mm-hmm. And then they had Mr. Lynch, and then they had another older gentleman. So it was.
Did their group have someone that they didn't know?
No, we all had something.
So everybody knew each other in this group.
They took forever. But we've done a few charity golf outings. This one could have been the slowest. It took us 6 hours to golf.
You had said that. Yeah, I texted
bro.
just to talk about like what time we're meeting for the
was-
podcast, and you're like, this is going so slow. So was it a lot of just waiting?
Whenever you got to a par 3, I'm not even kidding you. The second to last hole we had was a par 3. We waited
30 minutes.
20 minutes. No joke, 20 minutes. 20 minutes sitting there. This is a scramble. This
Yeah.
isn't legit golf.
And we
hold
still
on.
have like a hole after this to play, and we're just sitting there trying to get through this pole.
So what does a scramble mean? Because I know what best ball means. Whoever shoots the
That's
best
what it
ball.
is, best
oh,
ball.
best ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but scramble is the same word. Scramble is everybody starts at a different hole. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
we started on
Sorry,
8.
okay.
So there's like
Oh, then
everybody's on one hole,
But
you
you're-
all
yeah,
start at
sides
9
that are wrong,
o'clock,
yep.
and then you just go from there.
Got
So if you
it.
start on 1, you finish on 18. You start at 10, you finish at 9.
So were people not playing best ball then, like they should have?
I have no idea what it was.
Some may have been playing best ball. Who knows?
Hey!
Oh my God, he's back! He's back!
There he is. The heart and soul of the podcast. Pat Lynch, how we doing, buddy?
What's in the?
How was traffic?
It's an hour to Brian's, half an hour here.
Oh yeah.
That was
What's in the glass there?
Bios too.
Take a little sip. Tell us what it's like. Oh, you like the grape one, huh,
What's that
Pat?
derby, Chris?
Yeah, I got it on. They're getting ready to start. It looks like.
Tastes like the Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid. I had Lauren. So Bed Bath & Beyond right now, guys, is going out of business.
Going out of business.
So Lauren went to Bed Bath & Beyond today, and she got me a 34-ounce jug to like drink stuff out of.
Oh, nice.
I had Chris. I've been using that Pedialyte.
Is this pea here?
No.
Yeah.
It looks like apple juice.
We're gonna. Yes, me too. But so I had a 30-ounce tumbler. I put half Pedialyte, half water, and a liquid IV in it, just to
Nice.
get like. And I feel. I was feeling pretty crummy after the golf. My back's
Yeah,
killing
especially
me.
with you guys out in the sun. So by me, cloudy most of the day
The sun for
until
the last two holes.
maybe
show we
the
had, yeah.
last.
It was beautiful out there.
Yeah.
The first 7 holes
Legitimate.
was
This
rain.
is all from 30, maybe 20, like 40 minutes in the sun.
I had sunscreen on,
Yeah.
luckily, that I put on before just in case, and I got
That was smart.
So I'm not
Yeah.
as bad, but like, yeah, the first like 6 holes was basically like it was like
Rain.
It was raining.
we
Oh,
sat
it
in the
was
rain
raining
for
out
6
there?
hours. My uncle texted me. He's like, "Hey, sorry for the weather today," and I'm like, "Your rain dance really worked this time, buddy."
It's like, still not going to the basement, bitch.
Yes. But so yeah, 2 holes like this. This is me and Chris are burnt to a crisp. I have tan lines right now. Sexy.
Well, like you said, last couple holes, you just sat there for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was
so
crazy.
Yeah, got a
Could have been an hour and a half for those 2 holes.
Dude, we could have
Sounds of
legitimately been -7 today. We had on the last hole. We were 8 feet out.
We're like less than that.
I mean,
we're like
if Frank
3
or
or 4 feet.
If Frank or I could have hit a drive at all, we would have been a lot better score because we
Yeah.
were chipping and putting really well. I think I sunk like 4 or 5 like 10-foot putts.
That's nice. Yeah, we couldn't.
Until
hit
my
a
dad
putt.
had a couple, Tony had a couple. I think Frank had a couple long. We were all really good around the short game. This Frank and I mean, we knew that my dad and Tony were not going to be driving
Ooh,
much.
That's nice.
Oh, your
but-
dad went golfing too?
Yeah,
Nice.
we knew those two weren't going to be driving very far. But when Frank was good. Frank was holding us up for a while there, and then he started pulling left like I did, and it was getting rough. It was getting rough there. I figured out how to drive on like the 15th hole. Again.
Man,
My
What-
back hurts, by the way.
what
I
ex-
know I'm getting
what
old.
exciting golf talk.
Don't be jealous,
Yeah,
Joe.
Joe's
You could have been
jealous.
out there.
Joe's just jealous. He was out scraping wallpaper all day.
Yeah. Can I just say, I love my wife, but I hate my wife because it has started this Smirnoff ice shit all over again. Like since November, the number of people getting iced has gone up
Did
astronomical.
you like self-ice yourself today or what?
No.
No,
It's
Peter-
for his
Peter
birthday.
and Chris were sweet enough to get me a gift, and we did a Smirnoff ice.
Oh, you guys iced him?
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
So you still had time to do that? Nice.
Oh, we've had a ton of time, Pat.
Yeah, we
we
went saw a movie.
We were goofing the podcast up for about a good 3 minutes before anybody showed up.
Oh my God!
Hey, I had quality time with Brian Hamilton. I wouldn't trade that for anything, right?
Hey, I don't blame you.
Chris, tell us about this beautiful beer from
come on, buddy.
Burning Bush Brewery.
All I know is
that
it's
wonderful lady you had.
All I know is it's called Good Samaritan, and it's a pretty tasty Saison. It'll bring you back.
Oh, it's a Saison?
It'll take you back to Island Time, Pat. You don't know about Island Time, but the three of us do.
The island time from when you were in Seattle? That island?
Yeah, Island Time.
Oh,
Island
this has
time.
got me excited. I remember that day. That day, I took a picture of Chris on a wall with the butterfly wings, and I was like, "This must be where all the ladies take their photos."
And for some reason, he's still single. What the? What's going on, ladies? Come on.
Listen. It's not his fault. He's doing everything right. It's all those people out there.
Oh,
How long
baby.
does this race take to go? Isn't it like-
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to tee off at
Probably.
5:15,
Here's
but
the question:
apparently
how
not.
long is the Kentucky Derby?
It's like a quarter. It's like a mile and a quarter or something like that.
How does this take like 5 minutes?
No. There's
like-
races all day. I know.
Yeah,
girls
but I'm
there.
saying like the main one's like what,
The
5
main
minutes of it?
event is
The main event's
just a
less
few
than
minutes.
like 2 minutes, two and a half
Okay.
minutes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Chris,
It's the most exciting 2 minutes of your life, Pat.
Chris, are you gonna?
They don't know what I can do in 2 minutes.
Are you gonna do the? And here it goes down the
Well, when they get close to the end, maybe.
Considering we don't have any clue which horses these are, probably not, Joe. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right,
some horses
all right.
going wild right now.
Let's
though.
call out. Let's call out our.
Wait,
horse
did you guys hear
picks.
about all the horses dying?
I did hear about
That's
that.
pretty crazy. And then when
Couple-
one got hurt today.
Oh, one got hurt again today.
That-
God
that's
damn.
favorite.
The front runner got hurt today.
Oh, really?
Matt Forte down.
The guy I chose, the Angel of Empire, is the favorite right now.
Yeah,
and that's
he's
who
the
I chose.
Okay, so you got Angel of Empire,
Angel of Empire.
Sun Thunder,
I got
Sun
two fills.
Thunder.
2 Phils,
Chris has got the best name.
Tap it thrice.
Tap it.
Tap it.
Twice. Not once.
tap it.
Tap it.
Tap it
twice.
Like I'm going to do to you tonight. I'm going to tap it thrice. Not once, not twice, but thrice.
One for each hole, Joe.
Can't wait, baby. Can't wait.
Are we talking nostrils or what are we talking about here, Pat?
Listen, I'm willing to get crazy with it. I'll be
I was thinking
very-
ears actually, but hey, whatever floats Chris boat.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to lie. This does bring me back to Island Time, Chris. It's quite nice.
Right?
It's quite
Not gonna lie,
nice.
it's a weird contrast to my
could
to my
you-
to my Kool-Aid grape BioSteel here.
Could you say you guys are a couple of island boys?
Yeah, Island Time.
Whatever happened to those motherfucker?
They went what they thankfully died with the rest of the world after 15 minutes of fame.
I don't think, I don't.
They went the way of the Liver King and never showed up on the internet again.
Well, he's still out there.
Oh, he is, but he's not in the media.
But no one cares.
I mean, he's putting stuff out there, but
Yeah,
it's
he's on
not. It's
Snapchat.
not
Just another roided up guy that no one cares about anymore.
Dude, it's
well,
cr-
non-roided up. He went clean.
He's 121 days, Patrick. Okay,
That's terrific. Good
Dude,
for
he
him.
does eat a lot of testicles though, and it is concerning how much raw
He likes
testicle.
the balls.
You get extra protein with that, right?
Man, that's interesting.
Chris is still.
Is it still recording?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're at 13 minutes.
maybe his air conditioner off.
I'm just wondering, like, there. If you think about like statistics and numbers, he could be the man to eat the most testicles in ever. Like,
He's
You know what I mean?
single-handedly keeping the testicle
Single-
industry open.
Testicle market.
Someone's got like a Rocky Mountain oyster tester, right? Somewhere along the way.
I don't know, but you gotta think about it, right? Like, there's somewhere in the world at one point in history there was a man who ate the most testicles in human history, and it's possible that man is the Liver King.
It's very
Could be.
possible.
Could be.
His new name will be Ball Boy.
What a
Nice.
what a
Nice.
strange.
No, but
what
I
a
mean-
strange subject.
I don't know. It's got to be disgusting to actually eat that raw meat. Like, there's no way it's any good.
He's definitely probably in the most raw testicles.
That's probably
Joe.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how
How
he
about
does
Jeffrey
get sick.
Dahmer? Do we know what his count was?
Ooh, that's a good call.
Don't want to know.
I bet you Liver King's eating more balls than that.
did he saute them? Maybe a little olive oil, a little.
I think that
Little salt, pepper, a little Salt Bae.
Dahmer was actually making meals out of it.
Yeah, you got
Like-
he's got chicken
a
kebabs,
little-
human kebabs.
Isn't there
A little human chili.
Isn't there a thing where if you eat human flesh, it can like infect you somehow?
No,
not good
if
for
you
you.
eat human brain, I think you can. Well, no, you might be right, but it depends on what you eat. I think if you eat brain, there's what do they call it? Prongs or I forget what the name of it is, but you can get a disease from eating the brain of a human.
And we've just
So they
lost
become
the
a
fight.
Oh,
zombie.
I
is what
know.
you're
I
saying.
know that.
But I don't know if you can
the
eat. I think
brain
you can legitimately eat like human liver. Like if you were on a deserted island, Pat Lynch he'd be on a kebab.
Okay.
For sure.
I think like a spigot that you like rotate around. You know?
Yeah, no, you'd be.
Yeah.
We'd
Yeah,
wrap
you
you
like
up
to
like
be
a
spit roast, don't you?
little apple in the mouth.
This is getting weird, guys. Well, if we're gonna be on this,
We've lost all the viewers at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with all the testicle eating talk, you know,
no, we're just talking about the Liver King.
It's
ladies.
just gone off. It's just gone off the
If they
rails.
stay past the golf talk, they're definitely invested now.
what do you guys think of the beer?
It reminds me of Island Time.
What about you, Pat?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I keep mixing it up. I have water over here and beer over here. And
I don't think I'd want to drink a lot of it in a night, but like 1 or 2 is nice.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go more than probably 2.
I don't know. I feel like you get past 2 on this, you're gonna finish that jug like me and Joe did.
It's
Yeah.
a bit of an unusual finish. But.
It does. I think part of it is it got shooken up in the car on the way home, and I may have lost some of its carbonation.
Gotcha.
But
Did you get a little color? You look like you got a little color. Were you outside at all?
I went for a very short walk to get coffee. That's about as much outside as I.
how short of a walk we talking?
Like 4 or 5 blocks, maybe a mile. I
Okay.
don't think I could have been outside longer than 20 minutes.
Well, you just got some good color, or you're having a stroke. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well, this
have
is really
I
Irish.
have all feeling in my fingers and stuff. So
What do you think of the beer?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, but not so much that like an IPA would. You know what I mean?
Yep. I am, Chris. What are we? Probably 5 beers deep at this point.
Yeah, give or take.
Over a decent amount of time. So
Yeah.
this is like
Might
that plus
start
this,
at 9.
I had lunch too.
Yeah, we forewent the hot dog.
and then we ate
You
it.
got a broth? I got the broth.
We got a ton
Forewent
of
all
food.
that stuff.
You got to get yourself a beverage as well.
Yeah, but that's why I think everything was taking so long. Is people were.
We had no. I mean, there was nobody in front of us when we, and then you guys were behind us. So it was like
Yeah.
nobody was behind us when we got there. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, you guys were.
Taking
We were
beer
talking
sweet
about-
time,
We were
it
on
sounds
those
like.
guys all day. The
Yeah.
guys in front of us, like I was.
They were just sucking it up.
They knew we were there at all times, and that's saying something considering Frank and I didn't. Like I didn't have any good drives, like 15 holes into it.
The dude behind us hit Chris's bag once, and then was dropping them like dimes next to us. Is like legitimately the whole time.
Yeah, the guy literally crushed it into mine and Brian's.
There were a few
golf
balls
cart.
that I zoomed a couple balls past guys, and then definitely some guys were zooming balls by Frank. Frank had like a radar on him. He had like 4 or 5 fly by him today.
Nice. So enough of the golf talk, boys. You guys want to hear a crazy story?
Yes.
Utah or Pornhub is censoring content in Utah.
Oh man,
Nice.
You know
is
what?
that
Oh, I
because of
heard about
Mormons?
this. This is so interesting.
what kind of?
This is really interesting.
Wait,
It's
how do they know if your IP address
Yes.
is in Utah? Oh.
Yeah, so anyone in the state of Utah that tries to access an adult website will be flagged,
Stoned.
and you basically have to enter your ID,
yeah.
your information.
Yes, you have to put your driver's license in.
And then the Mormon Church stones you or what? Like,
No, but that's
you
why
get shunned.
Pornhub is like, now we're out of this because they don't they know, or the government's definitely tracking.
That seems like an invasion of privacy for sure.
Well,
It's one of those
If
things.
they
where
want to beat off in Utah, let them beat off.
It's one of those things in government. I mean, like on the websites, you see must be 18 years or older to enter. Depending on the state, I think some states have an older age.
Yeah, some states are 21.
Is Utah 21 state? I assume?
No idea.
Couldn't tell you, but now they've enforced it, and yeah, you have to put your information in. A lot of people worry about, well, if I put my ID in, could this then be stolen from whatever website?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, because what you want to do is add your ID to a free porn website, right?
Well, that's exactly it. Like, Pornhub put out a statement saying we have the infrastructure to put this in place and put this on our website and handle the load that it's going to bring to the website and the servers. But there's a lot of, I guess, a lot more dodgy sites. Because you got to think, right? This is every single website that has porn or some version of it. I wonder if Twitter, because you could have pornographic images on Twitter.
You're gonna get guys getting fake IDs just to go look at porn in Utah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
here's actually what happened. The number of VPN subscribers went through the roof.
Oh, that's a good call. I can see that.
Overnight.
Yeah.
you have to, because you don't
Overnight.
want any company to be able to track what you're looking at.
Don't you have to VPN somewhere else though, right? Like when you have to VPN.
Well, yeah, you
yeah, but
get
like-
out of Canada.
You log in
Yeah,
and
you
you set it
yeah.
up to. You could even set it up for Illinois or Minnesota, any other state.
Yeah.
Not necessarily another country.
Bittrex, a crypto exchange, at the end of April, left the United States. And so we had a bunch of crypto coins there. We had Steam. So we had like 4 crypto coins left, and 2 of them are only available on exchanges that are not in the United States. So every time I tried to set up like Ponyx, Binance, my VPN or my IP address would kick me out. So I was this close to losing all our Steam, like our Steam crypto coin, which is not worth anything. But,
Nice.
I was getting really frustrated. I'm like, how do people do this? I literally was reading that I was potentially setting up a VPN in Canada so I could set up like an account to trade crypto in one of these exchanges that don't allow the United States to do it.
So like we set up an
Interesting.
Yeah, but then I was able to find one wallet to kind of take on both. The problem is I don't know how I'm supposed to sell these things. Yeah. Kind of crazy. It sucks if you're a United States citizen.
That'd be worth like billions of dollars and we can't sell them. Great.
Yeah, like Steam one day just ups up to like $5 a coin, and now we're like gazillionaires, but we can't sell it because we're from U.S. You were U.S.
That
citizens.
sucks.
I'll move to Canada and we'll sell it then.
Hello.
We just find somebody.
Silk Road.
We could give it to Joe. Joe's an Irish citizen.
Yeah.
And Joe's got to run to the oh yeah, we can go to his
I'll be
Joe-
heading there in
I can
July.
apply for Irish citizenship, guys. Don't worry.
No, we don't care about you.
Joe's in Ireland, sells all our coins. Like, hey guys, it's nice knowing you.
Guys, I can't come back. I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, I have a house, a plot of land out there.
I don't think if I had that money, I don't think Ireland is where
all
I'd
of
be
a
living.
sudden, Pat Lynch is on a plane flight out there to kill you.
For sure. That is.
Or the
So-
very least get my cut and then you can live. It's fine.
Yeah,
You guys, yeah,
that's all I have to
Chris
do.
are on a plane after him.
Joe and Pat are the wealthiest people in Ireland.
Yeah.
They own like half the island.
Yeah, I'll make Conor McGregor my court jester.
We'll be real island boys.
Island boy.
I saw that there's on the 294 in Chicago. It's one of the highways. There's a sign for Ireland actually, and it's like Ireland's 94 miles. Like that's the size of Ireland.
Oh yeah,
34 miles is one golf course. They said
What's that?
34 miles of it is one golf course.
Wow. I do know. I believe
30% of the island.
Wait, it says 90 miles long or wide?
I'm not 100% on that, but it said 94 miles, and then one of the golf courses 34 miles.
That's kind of crazy considering it's like 34 miles, I think, or something for me to drive to your uncle's place.
That is insane.
I will say I believe the country of Ireland fits within the
Il-
borders of Illinois.
Yeah, it's smaller than Illinois for sure.
Yeah, it's which
Well-
is
well
crazy
smaller.
to think it's that's a country.
It's
and
more, yeah,
smaller
it'd be like the size of like Vermont or something probably.
Boys, today, me and Chris, check us out on podcast S&P for Instagram and Twitter, and you can see the first practice of the S&P pickleball team.
Oh man.
Killing it, boys. Killing it today. I was
The bad boys of pickleball.
How
Is
early
this-
were you? How early
is
were you guys
this-
up that you did?
I was-
6:30.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, were you doing this on the golf course while you were waiting for the
No, we got up at about 6:15
I was
to go
up
for
at
a run
6:15,
today.
yeah.
To go for a run today. And Chris is like, why don't we go check out this one Chicago district?
I want to say Dunham Park because Pat said that they're supposed to have a pickleball course. They
They're,
don't
they're
yet.
installing them at some point.
You know
They
where there
haven't
are.
gotten there yet.
So is Portage Park one supposed to be installed? as
We found a spot that has pickleball now though.
well? Where at?
On Milwaukee, the
Wilson Park.
Yeah, right next to the fire hydrant where you play billiards, Joe.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I saw that.
okay.
The other,
Yeah.
I saw that the other day when I was by the bike shop. Yeah.
Yeah, right by the bike shop. Yeah, and they have pickleball courts in there. So we're gonna go there next weekend.
Interesting.
Oh, we're not, because guess what, ladies and
We
gentlemen,
won't be there next
Yeah,
weekend.
that's true. Yeah.
potentially this could be the Saturday Night Pregame Podcast live from Nashville because we
Ooh,
have
we're gonna
a
be live,
van.
baby.
We
Oh,
could bring all this stuff if we
gear.
wanted to.
Yep.
There's no reason not to. I was also going to suggest if we wanted,
Oh, can we do the podcast in the van with Pat?
we could do like Ari Shafir does he does a live podcast when he's like if he's driving from comedy spot to comedy spot, he'll have a comedian with him and they'll do a live like
Yeah, I don't think we're doing a live
Bill
podcast.
Burr did
in the,
that for a while. He would
yes,
drive around
comedians
this-
in cars or not no, but that's this but he was
That's
kind of like
true.
off that thing.
Yeah, he would. I don't know if he had a cell phone or if he had GoPros or something, but he would. Yeah, he'd be driving around whatever city he was in to do a show. And
Yeah.
he'd,
He would drive around and visit areas.
Yep.
He started one of the first like one of those like podcast networks.
I think
what is
All
it?
Things Comedy. Is that
Yes.
what it's called?
And so he was trying really hard to like build that up, and that's why he had like Bert and Bill and Bert and all those, and he was trying to build it. And I think I know it's still there, but I don't know that it's, I think Your Mom's House is bigger. Who else has one? the guys that Legion of Skanks has a podcast kind of staple.
I feel like I heard a lot of guys were in that All Things Comedy group to do their podcast. I don't know if I know or listen to those comedians enough to.
Bert's got a new one too. Bert was with All Things Comedies, and I think he does his own now. He's got his own like comedy staple.
Bill Burr will join whatever comedy. Give us a call.
All Things Comedy.
Yeah, give us a call. We'll be there.
Numbers aren't bad the last couple of weeks.
Haven't been bad.
Joe's dad's clip is up to like 400.
Bill, it's a shockingly low amount to get us a party join. Shockingly low.
Just
I didn't understand.
We'll
what
pay you
just
actually.
said.
We'll pay you.
It was just shocking amount to get us into.
Shockingly low amount.
Yeah. No.
Shockingly low amount to what?
To
get
pay
us-
us
it's
to pay
All
us to
Things
be- to pay us
Comedy.
to be in his all comedy podcast.
To talk to
pay
Bill
us
Burr.
to get into. Okay.
to get in there. It'd be shockingly low number.
Gotcha.
Or Joe Rogan. We'll just come down to the
Could we be the
mothership, and we'll just do a free podcast there.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love that.
I mean, we can't be any worse than some of his guests.
We'll knock on the door next.
You want to
somewhere
pass me
else.
that Bernie Bush there, buddy? Do you know? Talking about Joe Rogan, I listened to his Randall something. He was talking to a guy.
Randall King?
No, I wish. He's actually becoming a bigger country star fan, and he talked to Luke Combs, and
You mean Pepsi McGraw? What Pepsi McGraw strives to be?
What is
Yeah, that beard says I'm Luke Combs all over the place.
Wait, what is the thing with this Randall guy?
no, I forget what he's the guy who wrote the book about the coyotes that Joe Rogan always references whenever he's trying to act smart.
Oh, okay.
And this guy was on, and he was talking about like North America, and they're just finding out that everybody's thought that Native Americans were kind of like the first, or I forgot how early they think people came here, but they're thinking it's like maybe 3 or 4 times earlier than that.
Wasn't the Vikings in Canada the earliest ones they said?
No.
Well, maybe from Europe.
No, you have to imagine if there's Native Americans that were here, living here, they had to come across the Pangea Bridge.
Yeah.
So I mean, but maybe earlier than that.
Wait, or like they're talking like 3 or 4 times. Like the last ice age, they think a bunch of people came over, and no one really is talking about like they started in. They think they came from Russia, and they moved all the way down to like pretty much the southern tip, like of South or North America, and then into South America.
That feels
Interesting.
That feels
Okay.
kind of necessary.
Like you're right. You kind of wonder why people move so much, but when they got here,
You think they got when they got to warm weather, they'd be like, "This is nice. We'll stay here."
yeah. Here's the other thing, Joe Rogan.
That back then it was all hunter gatherers. Like the idea of farming was not a thing until much later in civilization, or like in the growth of human history.
Yeah. One of the big things they talked about on the podcast is like when the first time the settlers came, when Europe came from, like Columbus and all those guys came over, they talked about how like the Amazon had, they think it had like from in America, Amazon, all there were 60 million people. These were uncontacted tribes, and as soon as they met anybody from Europe, those diseases wiped out.
Wiped them out, yeah.
Immediately. So they went from like 60 million to like maybe 2 million.
Yeah.
One of the
makes
biggest
sense.
like human devastations. But so it's like it's a kind of a conundrum, because the human population at that time didn't understand that like you had to let people like animals breed. So they were wiping out. They were very close to like cutting down a lot of, like in North America, cutting down a shit ton of trees, and then just decimating the wildlife. If they had not died,
Yeah,
we would have
there's-
never known about most of the wildlife.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things I can imagine contributing to that. Not understanding how ecosystems work.
Yep.
Not understanding how disease and sicknesses work. That's a huge thing. Like they
Yes.
they think that the whole like giving blankets, contaminated with smallpox and stuff like that was not necessarily contaminated on purpose, but more a misunderstanding.
Here, just to jump in real quick. One of the guys' journals said, "It's crazy, when we get there, all these people are super healthy, and by the time we leave, they're all sick. And it's like tribes that we haven't seen, they all seem still healthy, but everybody we see gets sicker than a dog.
What could be that common denominator there, huh?
They just didn't put 2 and 2 together. It's crazy.
I mean, they didn't even know about diseases until Middle Ages,
Bunch of
right?
anti-vaxxers,
A lot of
man.
that
1800.
was-
They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't understand the bubonic plague for the longest
plague,
time.
They had no
It almost
idea.
wiped out human civilization before it even got going.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing: people legitimately didn't learn about germs until the 1800s, and it was by mistake that it happened because a guy in surgery, his survival rate was like 90%, and everybody else was less than 30.
You mean the guy that washed his hands beforehand?
And they're like, "Why is this guy? What is this guy doing that no one else is doing?"
Back in the day, say the guy got a cigar, like, oh, it just drops the ashes in there, like, it's fine.
Yeah,
So
just let's
Drops
cut.
the junior mint right in.
They would go from in the Civil War. They would go from cutting Jerry's leg to Mike's leg to Pat's leg to
Yeah,
Chris's
yeah,
leg.
to watch out, yeah.
Not touching the blade at all. Just like your leg's off. Your leg's off. Your leg's off.
Hey, blades cost a lot. You had to knock it till it's dull, right?
Insane.
Water's
Because,
expensive.
saying they
water
didn't
was
even
expensive.
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
I get
No, but I'm saying when we only learned about germs was because one guy washed his hands and they finally
One
took
germaphobe
notice.
who thought didn't know
Yes.
what he was, he liked the feeling of washing his hands. Like, I like to have feels good.
He didn't like blood on his hands,
Feels good.
so he cleaned himself.
Because they weren't gloves back then, God forbid.
Just insane. But so, and what he was talking about was the craziness of that is, we have so much more. We know so much more about the biodiversity because people from Europe came over, killed all these people, went back, came back, and then all these people were gone, and wildlife took back over. So like the bisons took over. The trees and forests grew way better.
I think we just solved the Roanoke mystery.
Who's what?
You know Roanoke?
Yeah,
No, I don't actually know.
The story of Roanoke where there was like
It's like a British. It's like something with like Britain, where like they colonized like part of North Carolina. And,
Oh yes.
and Joe, I think you can take it from there. That's all I know pretty much.
Yeah, they colonized. They left, and when they came back, the whole. I don't want to say it wasn't large. It was just probably a small village compared to what it is now, or compared to what we have now. But all that was written on the tree was Roanoke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But those were British
Yeah.
people, so it's not really germs. I was just making a joke. Sorry.
Those
They
people
all
actually,
drank the Kool-Aid.
those people actually starved to death. Is what they really think happened. They tried to move on.
No, they drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, I mean, the thing was, there's no bodies,
Kool-Aid's so delicious.
so that's like the big thing. It was just up and vanished an entire town.
Maybe they just kept going south.
Yeah, maybe exactly. You're right.
And then they
Or a hurricane came through.
and then they were talking about that guy in Alaska, the boneyard again. And that's so dude. That's so
Oh,
crazy.
that's the thing that you were talking about with the guy with the blue ox, right?
Yep. And,
Nice.
And the university.
Paul Bunyan?
Paul Bunyan, baby.
That's a Minnesota Joe.
the New York Institute of one of the colleges in New York was taking all these bones from Alaska, and they had too many bones, so they just threw them into the Hudson River or something. Yeah, and there's like, and they know the guy knew the exact location. He gave it out, and he was like, "Hey, go find these. If you can find these bones, they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars." And they found jaw bones, and they found like a partial tusk.
When did these bones get tossed into the Hudson River?
I think it was in the 30s or 40s.
Okay.
And so, but I mean, water is actually not bad for bones. It's actually better to be in water than like to be out in the open. Yeah.
Fish kind of just like munch on whatever's left. Well, I guess there's probably, if these are ancient, there's probably nothing on them. But yeah.
Depending on how clean that water is, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if it's a little radioactive,
you
might not be great.
can't eat fish anymore these days.
They talk about a dough joke. So this, I don't know if you've ever seen the boneyard. They pump thousands, like pounds of water, and they just hit this. He's just hitting the side of this like huge embankment. I don't know. It's just crazy. And these bones come out, and they have to take these tusks or any type of bones immediately and put them in bags or storage because the wolves out there will come and grab them,
Oh, wow.
smash them up, and take the bone marrow from
Get
them.
out, really?
And
That's crazy.
He has pictures of the and he'll toss some of the old bones to the wolves.
Wow, that's
It's-
kind of
I
crazy.
know, it's just and they have no.
That's interesting. Like you would never think of that. Or like that's just yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to think, okay, so this is 1930s, you said that he
Well-
was tossing these in the river?
No. So there was another guy in Alaska who had kind of like a boneyard type thing, and they took all these from Alaska. They were supposed to put them like in the Smithsonian. They're supposed to show like demonstrate these, and they decided they have a huge chest, a huge storage locker of all these bones, and they've done nothing with them. And then they had too many, so they just started tossing them in the river.
Okay.
Fancy.
And so the guy gave that location out, and people can go are scuba diving on this river right where the location is and trying to find a bunch of these bones.
Go scuba diving.
Scuba diving.
And but again, they just have no idea why there's insane amount of bones and stuff that are just sitting here.
That's so interesting. It's amazing that even that little time ago, talking about like, you know, people coming over from England to the Americas, the New World, not understanding disease and germs, and this guy, within the last century, not understanding or have a good understanding of history and keeping record, just tossed him away.
Oh yeah, well, this college just threw him in the river, like it's no big deal.
Budget
Cuts,
it.
man. Budget cuts.
I mean,
Those damn bones, throw them away.
That's a whole nother thing. It's funny. So I got
bring one more bone into this college classroom.
Do you know how much it costs?
Slap the shit.
Do you know how
out
much
of
it costs to store a bones in a month?
or mammoth tusk. It's kind of a lot, I
Hey,
guess.
you know, we have no room for this. What are you doing? Why do you keep game mammoth tusk? Throw that shit in the river. What?
It would be so cool.
We got one. We don't need 17 other ones, guys. All right.
It would be pretty. I mean, it would be so interesting just to kind of have any idea why there's this massive boneyard in the middle of Alaska. Like just a little bit of an idea of what kind of happened would be.
Maybe they got trapped there.
It's cold.
They think it was so with the
The
sun.
tectonic plates.
No, with the sun. There's sometimes the sun just goes off and has like solar flares and stuff, and they think something happened with the sun, and then that causes a lot of the ice age or a comet.
Maybe they got hit by an asteroid.
Yes, exactly.
I saw this thing. So I told Peter about this weather thing that I found out on YouTube. It's total BS. But I found this other thing.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to have Chris.
We're supposed to have a dry month, and it's
Chris told me
rain,
Thursday.
yeah.
Hey, don't worry about rain for the next month. We're good. It's gonna be golden. It's gonna be beautiful.
This guy on YouTube lied to me.
Tom Skillings, you're doing great over there.
This guy really lied to me.
I'm
on this
sitting
one.
in the rain. I'm like, hey, Chris, pretty dry out here, buddy.
Yeah, I was not too happy with that
Hope
guy.
we get some rain soon. Getting real dry in here.
But I learned some other.
I'm just soaking wet.
I learned some other interesting thing on YouTube's. There's this like line in Indonesia that I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like the co-founder of evolution with like Charles Darwin, or natural selection with Charles Darwin. And there's like this line in Indonesia, in between like the islands there, that like there's like certain sets of animals this way, and there's certain sets of animals this way. Like you find tigers, Asian elephants, and some birds on this side of the line, and on the other side of the line you find other birds, Komodo dragons, and other things like that. And they don't cross. You don't find
These
them
are
past
two
this line.
very diverse groups.
Yes, two very diverse groups.
The biodiversity is very.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And it's like so crazy, like how you like this guy like back in like the 1830s, like figured out like this line. Now like the lines kind of moved back and forth a little bit, but like he figured out this line where like it's kind of interesting like to watch. Like you figure like he's like how, like because like Asia or like Australia used to be connected with like New Zealand and all those islands in Indonesia, and it's like how like none of these other animals ended up on these islands is kind of like crazy.
Isn't like part of Africa breaking off?
Yeah, Joe
Yeah,
talked
Joe
about
was
that.
talking about that.
Hey, check out podcast probably 128, and that's where it's going to be.
It took us like 6 weeks to drop that spoiler. Pat.
We're not good. When we have a teaser at the end, it takes us quite a while to get back to that teaser. No, I know. I could honestly. It was such an interesting podcast with Joe Rogan. Like I always look for the guys that either are history or medical for Joe, because I find them to be so interesting. And no one else has these guys on, or at least I just never seen. Like I think his name was Dan Flores. I'm pretty sure it was Dan Flores. Is the podcast
Dan the man.
We got a winner yet, Chris?
No, it doesn't tick off for another 8 minutes.
I just googled it. Yeah, it's 5:57 when the main.
So I've been trying to keep it on so I can turn it on a few seconds earlier and make sure that we know who wins.
Chris or me. So me and Joe last night went for tacos and margaritas. And
thanks for the invite, guys.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Hey, listen.
Next time.
No, I appreciate that.
Next time. And Joe and I were talking about reading, and Joe actually came up with something that's kind of like very interesting. He read I don't know if it was a podcast or
it was a YouTube video of this woman who reads easily hundreds of books a year, and she just kind of broke down how her approach to how she reads Do you want me to go through it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so she kind
Kind of why I brought it up.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to say it or if you wanted me
No,
to
no,
say
I'm not
it.
stealing your thunder. I thought it was very interesting.
But her, we were talking about how we work in accounting. We're dealing with spreadsheets all day, looking at numbers, reading emails, reading contracts all day.
The context was Lauren and Sarah were giving us shit for not reading as much as we probably should, but they were like, "Hey," and then me and both Joe were like, well, "We're kind of, all we do all day is look at emails, spreadsheets, all that shenanigans."
Yeah. By the time
does not reading about tax law changes and other kind of crap like that?
Yeah,
Not
I do
count?
that.
was our thing. Is like this is a lot of our job during the day. So when it comes time to the end of the day or after work, we're just eyes are strained. We just want to do something that doesn't involve.
You don't have to look at something or
you
pay
play
attention
video
to
games,
it.
Exactly.
right? I mean, you play video games.
video games, watch TV,
Easy.
all that stuff. So
I wish I had a PS5.
Yeah, I do too.
Sorry, Joe.
they're available now. Those
Oh,
are,
yeah.
those things
I'm sure
are-
they're available, Joe. The time thing is the one.
No, if I'll get.
Yeah.
You know what I want? I want to. Sorry again, Joe, but this is all the time. I would love to set up at Chris's place like a nice little whole gaming system. Like, yeah, he's already got the 64. I want to get the PS5.
I'd like to get like an old school Nintendo too.
Nintendo. Yep.
Why are you setting this up in Chris's apartment at your place?
Because
No,
if
he's
you-
saying he
why
likes
not?
the setup at Chris's
Yeah.
place.
So then I go over there. I'll make him dinner and we play video games on Tuesdays. That would be awesome.
I mean, why not? You get away. There's nobody
Yeah.
nagging you, yelling
Don't-
at you.
don't.
Hey, I want to watch this or that.
Yeah.
Or let's spend time together. No, Chris ain't going to tell you that. Chris is like, let's go kill some zombies in Call of Duty 6.
Get the fuck
That's all
out
I
of here. Get the fuck out of here with that
Jesus,
love
Pat. You know what,
and
Pat?
relationship
You're not
bullshit.
welcome to the gaming zone. I'm sorry, Joe, for cutting you off, but
That's
Pat,
right,
you're
no
not
worries.
welcome to the gaming zone. Joe and Peter are. You're not.
I
So
guess
you
because
can
now
sit here-
you're about to get married and you're all lovey-dovey and you want to be with her all the time.
I got keys, Chris. I'll come into my own.
Nah, you're not allowed.
Hey,
Okay, so Joe,
when
we're
you're at
talking
work,
about
I'll be in the gaming zone.
reading. So come bring it back, please.
Well, I mean, she just broke it down and categorized, different types of books or different styles of books or genres of books. So,
Can I ask you a
fiction.
question? Do you know what this woman does for a living?
She's a YouTuber, probably
So she
influencer.
does a real job. Okay, got it. Move on.
I'm sure she does other stuff, but regardless, reads way more books than me or anyone I know. And she kind of broke it down. She goes, you've got your fiction, things that you enjoy reading, stories that are fantasy, whatever it may be. These are the books that you can just go through that catch your attention. You can read a lot. And then books that are a little more educational. She goes, these are all her approach to reading these things. But educational books, you either read maybe by chapter or section. So you may only read this book for 20 minutes or 15 minutes, put it down, and then come back another time. But she kind of puts this rotation of books in that are fun, educational, informative, nonfiction. And her approach is just kind of break it out. You don't have to read one book all the way through and then go to another one. Treat it a lot like TV shows that you watch. You've got your comfort food or comfort TV. I was telling Peter, Always Sunny is the show that me and Sarah like to watch. So that could be your fiction, the one that's fun to read. Then you got your education where you occasionally watch a documentary. I'm just kind of paralleling it to television now because I don't really, I'm not smart enough to say it as well as she did. But it just made it a lot more approachable. It's like, oh yeah, I don't have to read this book nonstop every time if I just want to read that book. And it's just kind of this thing where you cycle through, or you have your 6, 7, 8 books that you may be reading at one time, and you all read them at different speeds, and each has its own approachability. And I was like, oh, it's simple, it's approachable, and not something I would think about. Because for me, it's like I started reading this book, can't start reading that book until I'm finished. So it's just an approachability
Interesting.
that I never gave thought to, and I didn't give justice to either in her explanation.
And all that was, Pat, was the thought that it's like, there's a lot of really good tips out there that you don't even think about. And it made sense to me. I'm reading the book The American Psycho right now, and it flies to me. And Lauren gave me another book that was a little bit more history on the American ambassador as the Nazi regime was coming up. And it's good. It's very interesting because I love World War II. I love that whole area.
Yeah, something
but
historical.
it's just it's so much slower for me, and it takes so much heart. And Or when I want to read something in the regards to like learning, you shouldn't be trying to like crush it. Take it, a couple pages at a time, a couple paragraphs, whatever you do, so you can actually gain more than thinking I need to get this done. Think about, hey, let's get something out of it.
Which, if you think about it, like when you guys were studying for the CPA, you just found whatever time you could to study, whether it was 5 minutes or 20 minutes.
Walking from the car, doing flashcards.
Exactly. It's like that's exactly the same approach to reading a book. You got 5 minutes until you got to do something. Oh, I'll pull out this book, read this section, and then just kind of contemplate and think on it, put it away, and then read whatever later.
Yeah.
You don't have to read one thing nonstop.
The other thing is, I was actually going to ask Pat. I don't know if I think you were a part of the audio. You used to listen to some books on audio, right? A little bit, or am I off on that?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
I recently, I've stopped audiobooks. I was reading the book that Joe Rogan recommended on the Comanches, and I realized that I was like 30 minutes. There would be at times 15, 20 minutes I would miss. Just because I was like daydreaming. It would be background noise. So I've kind of given that up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
To me, it's no different than listening to like a podcast.
But do you get? I feel like like 90% of podcasts, like it's just I'll catch a good joke here and there, but not always.
He's not paying attention to every word or every last thing.
Sometimes it's background noise. Sometimes you're listening.
I guess
at least with podcasts. I imagine I would have the same approach to audiobooks. Sarah loves listening to audiobooks. I'll hear her stuff.
Is she doing other things though, like at the time, or is she just kind of like sitting on the couch listening to it?
No, she's listening to it and doing other stuff. Okay. But these are fiction that are just books that she enjoys.
I've never listened to like stuff like learning stuff. I guess I've never listened to. Mine are more like historical, or they're like fiction books.
Yeah, like Silk Road, I couldn't put down.
I did Silk Road an audio book.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't stop listening to that.
It all depends.
I did the Nike guy was an audio book.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought that book and I still haven't read it.
What's that?
The Nike one.
Yeah, Shoe Dog. His name is, yeah.
I think I bought it after you talked about it, and then I just.
What is that about?
It's about the Phil Knight, the guy who started Nike, and how he started building Nike.
Okay. Yeah. I love in the HBO the LA the Lakers series, whatever it is. Magic Johnson would be a billionaire right now if he would have. If he would have went with Phil Knight,
is he already a kind of a billionaire? He's always,
but he would be like Nike literally was coming out with their shoe.
What's that movie's about, right? How they chose Jordan over
Johnson turned them down.
Yeah,
they were still
no. Jordan was way later.
Jordan was like 3 or 4 years, or I think like 5 years after, and Nike. So Nike had at least some kind of name recognition out there
at that time.
Some they were at least doing.
They
something.
They were known for being a running shoe, like
a track shoe.
Exactly.
But they wanted Magic. And Magic's then girlfriend father became his agent and went to Converse because Converse was the shoe of the day.
That was when basketball first started. Everybody. Kind of wore Converse back in the day.
I see a lot of people working out in Converse, like flat shoes.
I do.
Oh, everybody does.
Yeah.
Strongmen do it. It's like, I don't understand it.
It's the flat foot, I think.
The idea is, your foot's more connected to the ground.
Yeah.
The shoe doesn't
They definitely like it for squats and like deadlifts.
Yeah.
I saw a guy working on Timberlands the other day. That was weird.
Wow. What a boss.
He's doing all upper body, though, stuff.
I love when guys work out in jeans.
My favorite's when guys work out in polos.
Oh,
I can't get past
those guys.
Stink. It's breathable.
These are not breathable polos.
I'll combine the both. I've seen guys work out in polo, jeans, and flip flops. That's their outfit at the gym.
That's a trifecta right there. You got to get a camera shot of that, Joe.
That is.
I've come so close to dropping weights on my feet. I would be so scared.
That's where Timberlands come in handy. They're still tough, man.
Yeah. That's why he's got the old Tims.
Yeah.
After working on that upper body, he just drops the weight.
Let it go, baby.
No pain, no gain.
Wait, I had something I wanted to bring up, and I'm lost it. It was too many good topics here, boys. Too many good topics. Have we gone off yet at all?
We're almost live. We're almost live.
We're almost there.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're coming out of the corner.
I'm waiting for the guy to get up on the trumpet.
Oh, it's about to start.
Can you see it from it? You can see it, Joe. We have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have it live here. Chris McGraw's going to give you the rundown.
I'm going to give you the play-by-play once it starts.
So
I may even turn the volume up.
One horse is winning, another horse is winning, and the other horse is winning, and a third horse is now winning.
So Chris has
they're
Timmy
putting the horses
Pat has Phil Too Good.
2 fills.
Chris has tap it twice.
Yeah, I
Trice.
had Timmy Trumpet. Timmy Trumpet.
Timmy Trumpet traps it Trice.
Feels good. Pat's got feels good.
I was just messing up all the names on purpose, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get down the line.
Joe has the God of Thunder, and Peter has God knows who. Matt Forte. But it sounds like Matt Forte is going to win
well,
it.
Forte actually he was the favorite.
Peter's got Matt Forte. Matt Forte blew his knee out before the race.
He's running by himself. He's running 2 legs only. He's at a disadvantage here.
All right, we're all in. And they're up.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if we can comment
And there
on
are lots of horses running down the road. They are going so fast. My goodness, these people
how quickly they loaded
Pat's
them?
horse looks like it died.
Come on, baby. He's a late starter.
Who's the lead, Chris? I need some.
They haven't given me it. There's
I
some.
don't know which horse is which
There's
here.
you can't tell. There's some guy in orange that's pretty up there. There's a guy in light blue. I don't know. They haven't given me it.
2 fills is leading.
How do they not labeling anything?
They haven't labeled shit yet.
They're not that far along the race yet.
They're at the quarter mile in 22 seconds. Verifying, King's Barn, and Reincarnate are the 3.
2 fills is charging, baby.
Pat's horse is the only one that's in the top 5 right now.
Come on!
Get it,
Pat's in the top 4.
Baby. Come on.
Joe has the worst odds out of all of
Well,
us.
that
He's
was
33 to
$8
1.
wasted. You know what the
They're
match.
running down the line. There's horses all over the place, and one's coming up the finish line. What's gonna happen here? It's going.
Nothing's changed yet, gentlemen. We're at the half mile at 45 seconds.
All right, we're only half mile in. Oh, come on down, horse. We got a guy in the blue. We got a guy in the orange. We got 2
Why did
horses
they not
next
put the
to
Who are
each
you,
other.
Pat? Are you this guy right
Where's
here? The
Seabiscuit in the
striped blue
whole
one?
thing?
Huh?
Give me Pharaoh's Way coming down the road.
Did you guys know that Angel?
3/4 of a mile at 110.
the mattress guy from Houston.
Peter, I feel like you could outrun all these horses. We just put like Patrick McGraw on your back and let him just whip your ass.
The Angel of Empire.
Pass it second.
Let's go! I need that money.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Get it.
We're coming up to. It looks. I don't know if we're coming up to the final turn, but it looks
Come on, baby. Come on.
Looks like we're
There
coming
we go.
up to the final stretch
All
here,
the
guys.
horses are coming together now at the very end
Yep.
here.
No, but to the Age of Empire.
There's a wide line.
anymore.
The Age of
I
Empire
know.
guy, the
I
Houston
had
guy
no
from
idea.
Houston, the mattress guy from Houston.
The one
put
that
1.2.
endorsed
Yes.
Trump?
No. I think he does.
Thinking
Yes.
My Pillow guy.
No. Yeah, he put
There's
1.2.
some guy.
He
in
put
like purple.
1.2 million on Age of Empire. Let me
a-
get it out, Chris.
There's a guy in purple that's making his move on the outside.
Wait, why do we know any names?
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
All right, we just finished the race.
Okay.
Some number 6.
Doesn't sound good for us.
Nobody knows who it is. It's probably nobody good.
Yeah.
Show the numbers.
Waste of $8.
I'll tell you guys in a second once they throw it up here. But some guy, number 14, was making a move on the outside.
He really was.
All right. Well, here let's all have a drink and say cheers to number 6.
The unofficial winner is number 8, Mage.
Yeah, great.
Oh man, I almost picked it just because it was nerdy.
What's the Well, I wonder what his over under was.
It was up there.
There was no idea.
I think he might have been 30 to 1.
This sucks.
Goddamn mattress guy screwed your guy up, Peter.
Yeah, he did. He's all in his head. Where was Age of Empire?
He never made it up on any of that. Pat's guy was the only one that came up on the screen.
Great.
He was charged at the end there.
Hey Pat, stop being a pansy and have some beer. What's wrong with you?
Pat's horse may have like finished somewhere in the top 3.
That does nothing for me.
Well, he should have put him in the place, not to win.
Fair enough. It's on me.
But you don't know if you placed. You could have showed.
I said he should have put him in the place. He could have showed.
All right.
Well,
Well,
place is third, isn't it?
now that I'm upset, I need some feel good stories.
Awesome.
Terrific. Once these come up, Peter, I'll let you know the final results.
I don't want to know.
Well, you may.
I don't want to know.
You may have been the worst horse in the whole entire race.
Guy looks like Jerry Jones is really excited.
Nice. There was a horse from Illinois that was in it.
That was 2 fills, I think.
Oh, was it? Nice. Good for you.
I
All
heard
right.
about it on the radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna lighten this up because we suck and
the
we
Derby
all.
sucked.
I'm so tired of the Kentucky Derby. All right, World War II hero of Dunkirk, who was he is still pumping weights at 100 years old. Just-
What kind of weights we talking here,
This guy I
Peter?
just saw broke his own squat record, like for being
no.
really
What
old,
was the
like
old guy in
80,
Seinfeld?
90 something.
Mandelbaum.
Pat's guy finished second. Peter, your guy, you had Angel of Empire, was making the charge late, and he finished third.
My guy was so close. It was neck and neck the last. The
Your
bottom.
guy, yeah, your horse. When I was saying there was somebody breaking out the outside to the end, your guy was the guy making the break.
So it went Mage,
I mean, you can see. Like,
2 fills.
Peter, there's your
Age of
guy. He
Empire.
is literally making the break.
They are at the end there.
Your guy was making the break.
15 to 1. Mage was 15 to 1. Wow.
Somebody's making some money,
Wild
baby.
thing. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Okay, so World War II hero of Dunkirk
Mandelbaum.
is still pumping weights at 100 years old, and said his secret to reaching 105, he's so full of life. He just recently is now in assisted living, but he's still very active, has a still active life. He spends 90 minutes a day working out and walks at least 1 mile a day.
Nice.
David had a client who
Good
looks like
for him.
103 or 4, and he's the guy's like, I work out today, so I can work out tomorrow.
Quit smoking 6 months ago, though.
Oh,
That guy's just got good genes.
Why stop now?
Yeah, at that point, why stop?
You said he's 105?
Was
Yeah,
he afraid? Was he
he-
afraid to get emphysema in 10 years?
No, he's like, I want to live another 15, so I probably should quit smoking.
He wants to live another 15. What an ambitious guy.
Why not?
Hey,
I like it.
Good for him.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like it.
power of positivity.
Former homeless hero stops runaway baby stroller
Oh, I saw
moments before it hits traffic.
Oh, nice.
That's insane.
If you watch the video, this poor woman, I believe she was the grandmother or great aunt, something like that. A strong breeze takes this stroller. She's in a parking lot. Strong breeze takes this stroller and just starts pushing it towards traffic. And like a movie, I don't mean this in a bad way, but to belittle this lady, but like a movie, she starts running towards it, trips, gets up,
I saw
trips
yeah.
again, and the whole time this stroller's just coursing through the air into traffic. And this guy who had just gone for a job interview, he was homeless, he was I believe a drug addict, and cleaned his life up, and he was trying to interview and get his life together, happened to be there and just jumps in and saves his baby.
Yeah.
like
Wow,
the
good.
stroller. And
Wow.
and another guy comes to pick up the
the poor old lady.
the lady from that was tripping.
Well, it's just great
It's just
that- yeah.
and I mean,
That's a great story. Just
Yeah.
like the kid didn't like they stopped it before traffic. Just like right place, right time.
it
type of
was
thing.
like exactly. It was like a movie. I mean, this baby was feet away from being thrust into traffic.
So timing. Life is about timing, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Parrots kept as pets were taught to video call each other, and they loved it.
Oh, nice,
Wow.
nice.
You said parrots, right?
Parrots,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Nice.
kind of silly. Let's see if I can find you.
I wonder what they use to, they're not using Zoom, right? It has to be like a Google Home
Yes,
kind of situation.
Maybe a Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, see, it has to be voice activated. Microsoft Teams is like the hot new thing.
Teams
We
is
use it
crap.
at work, but really, why do you hate it, Pat?
I just don't. I've never had the video call conference. The
Yeah,
video quality is really shitty.
me and Chris have never had any luck with it either.
Really?
Yeah,
we
Teams
use
is
it
Our audit
all-
teams use it, and they're just it's like I could like half the time I can't understand what they're saying.
We use it all the time, no issues.
No issues. Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We use Zoom in my
That's
company.
interesting.
This I actually read this on Yahoo, but a warhog, hyena, and porcupine walk into the same hole and live together.
Wow. That's
So-
interesting.
This is and it was like and they never attacked each other, and then and just lived there occupied. But so like the hyena and the porcupine are nocturnal, and then the warthog's like a little. So the warthog probably maybe saw him. He was coming in from his work shift while they were going out to do their work shifts, like kind of thing. But
Bob, Jerry, they're
Yeah.
just switching out of the whole, like, as you know.
and so they thought that they're pretty sure that there's probably 3 compartments. Like they didn't like live next to each other, but like they would just go in the same hole, and then they'd have their own little
Each
spot.
have their own little spot. That's
And
pretty cool.
why that happened is like in the dry season, this like the ground becomes like cement, so that they can't like it's out of necessity, not a lot of like, hey Jerry, how you doing? All right, hey, you have a good day. Oh, you ate my cousin
you
last
just got-
night.
yeah, you-
Don't worry about it. Like kind of thing. It was like, but
Yeah.
as soon as the rainy season came, they all left. So,
Gotcha.
but how kind of crazy is that? Like,
It's amazing to hear about stuff like that, especially with animals who are just, a lot of it is instinct and they're just kind of born to act a certain way. So when you have something like that where you can understand the porcupine, right? Because
yeah,
you're
who's
just not
messing
gonna
with a
fuck with
porcupine? Yeah.
But a warthog, which is just basically a pig on steroids, and a hyena who's very much the predator to that situation. Just like, yep, you sleep there, I'll sleep here.
Yeah.
And once
And if you fuck with me, I'm the best you want.
once rainy season comes back, you better watch your ass. You better watch your ass.
This is actually, and then we'll
Could be a Disney movie.
could be actually. Think about it. What was it? The warthog and who is Pumbaa and what?
Pumbaa.
They were
Timon
prairie
and
dog.
Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good movie. Good movie, guys. All right. Last one here, and then we'll get out of this beautiful podcast. So 186 years ago today.
Today being actually today? Like
May 6th. Or
okay.
May 6th. Not Cinco de Mayo, buddy.
I know. That's why I said May 6th.
It's May 6th. A company, American staple in the agriculture started. Can you name that company?
A company started that's a staple in American agriculture? John Deere.
How old?
God damn, Pat Lynch.
Wow. I was going to say Archer Mid.
Cheers to Pat on that one, buddy.
Wow.
That was pretty sick.
Didn't know that. That was just a lucky guess.
Nice. On that beautiful. We can't even top that. That's
And on that note, Pat Lynch finally got one right. Bye.